All right, Grand Rising, and yeah, we're gonna go ahead and go into um, again the Epistle of Paul, and it's saying the Epistle to the Romans, right? And hold on, man, it seemed like this was working the other day, but maybe not now. And it's saying who are justified. I don't know. That's what the title thing says for this portion of the Bible. Um, and again, whatever this is that's going, whatever this is that's going on when it comes to this here on the spiritual realm, this worldly realm, with these things that we're talking about in the biblical text that could be pertaining to things that have happened in the past, present, and future, it's a very tricky thing to deal with because it's just like, how much of this is tangible, what's really going on, are we even living in like a parallel universe, like what, what I'm saying, like what's really going on, the fact that there's a lot of lack of knowledge and there's a lot of trickery and stuff going on. I think that this, like, even if we're looking at this on a scale of, if we're talking like antiquities or ancient times when it comes to the Nephilim and invasions that are so-called going on with the vaccine and his story repeating itself. And again, it's funny that we're using his story because nobody wants to look at it as hers, right? So again, there's for me, okay, the energy that I'm getting from this whole thing is whatever's going on. If somebody thinks that there was or is supposed to be some type of competition, it's not. There's only, when we're talking about this god or this goddess, there's no do-overs, there's no making a replica. The way that people got in trouble, the way that we went wrong in the past is by choosing idols, period. You chose the foe or the fake thing. So when we're talking about this, there's no competition. This is when we're talking about wisdom being there when the creation was started, because she was a part of it. She knows she was there. She knows she is one who appointed certain individuals where they're supposed to be, right? But this is done secretly. This is done at a point, even we're talking about Adam and Eve. This is done at a point when Source is working with individuals from within. He's working in here. So you're seeing things being done prior to it being done. You don't even know what you're doing or why you're doing this or why it's happening, but things are actually happening on a scale where Source is dealing with just those people. So it's almost like the gates were open for a certain amount of time and something went wrong or something went in a certain direction, right? And when we're talking about when they say Yah, was a jealous God, there has to be something that was going, you know what I'm saying? So if we look at the fact that society, right, the way I look at it is a woman, okay, we have a divine male and female, or a divine union of two, a god and a goddess that are supposed to do whatever they're supposed to be doing. I look at it as something where those people are side by side, because I know that the woman carries the certain gifts and intuition and these other qualities that men don't actually carry. And I know that the man is supposed to what? Provide and protect. And so when these two powerhouses are joined, it's not that they're supposed to match each other's, is it called stilo? What was it? Like, they're not supposed to match each other's equally by appearance. And you know what I'm saying? And how much of I feel like even when it comes to finances, again, if it weren't to be set up that way, it wouldn't have been set up that way in the first place, right? So I'm trying to talk about this because I feel like people know, but they can't say, or they're not saying that they know. But I really haven't been aware of everything going on because there's a lot of things I feel like go on behind the scenes. And so it's kind of hard to talk about it because it puts you in a bind because you don't want to come off feeling some kind of way or looking some kind of way. But really, I don't give a damn at the end of the day because I know my truth, right? There's just some things people, unless they have been in your head, like some people have been, they would know exactly how to manipulate certain things if things weren't going their way. So when we think about these goddesses being talked about and treated this way, we have our own, they have their own perception. We can see that it's somewhat sexist. So again, when I'm speaking this way, it's not because I'm downing men. I'm just showing that women actually had a form of solid power, and they had a place due to the qualities and gifts that she was built, the things that she brought to the table. Okay, and it didn't have anything to do with, you know, really how strong she was, even though I think they're, you know, warrior women, right? It didn't really have so much to do with how much money she had, but it was the bloodline, right? Or it was whatever family or whatever she came from, right? So again, it's not like with this that somebody can really come in and take the place. There's only one. You don't get another. You don't get another unless you pick in the wrong one, and that's just it. There's only one that's going to come with that source of light. There's only one that is holding that direct road to heaven. Now, it's been broken off into particles because, again, the way that I feel like it's been set up this time is to make sure that as they kept a woman, again, like me, behind the scenes or under the table, they were able to, again, extract that light, to extract that information and get, so that is not the same thing. That's somebody copycatting and riding on someone else, and that is a construct of something that has been set up, planned out for a very long time, so that they would know exactly when to come in and throw the wrench in. So they would know when exactly to keep someone distracted. So again, we're just keeping it real with what I feel like is going on with the energy, because it's all really about energy and frequency in the first place. So I'm talking about what the energy is that that has been around me my entire life, actually, right? But now it's really just showing itself now. And so again, there's no do-overs. There's only one. You don't get another one. Now, if that one doesn't fit the criteria because you guys want to keep doing things the way that you want to do it, then that is the thing. But mama ain't going to sit down and not say nothing. And I'm just saying, that's just it at the end of the day. Mama going to speak it directly how it is. It ain't no sugarcoating. You can't pay me enough. You can't buy me. And they know that they cannot. And that is the way that is why it has been done this way. But they have the power. They have the power in this worldly realm to try and subdue or oppress. And that's exactly what they use. They use their power in order to do so. And that's just the way it is. They use their power. And so when they're going against God and people saying when this Bible is saying what they did to go against God, that's what they're doing right now. And the world is watching, and they're getting to be able to see. What they did was just back up and dress up someone else in the place of and place them there. There's no way to make up the name. I never knew whose name that was. There's no way to make up with. So again, as soon as that video come out, as soon as all these videos come out, because I have to pay attention now. Now everybody want to be doing videos on top of videos on top of videos when they were spaced out so much before. Because that's a sense of, oh, damn, we didn't think she was going to fit. How the hell is she figuring this out? Because there's no way for anybody to sit there and try and say how I'm figuring out and doing the things that I'm doing over here sitting in my damn house by myself, right? In solitude, chilling. with God, with the ancestors. You know what I'm saying? It is so much fear complex that have been placed on me, but it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Nothing's happened. Nothing's happened besides some weird, strange things, like waking up yesterday feeling like I was under the influence of something that I was not. And again, so, I see these little funny things with these headlines and stuff that people putting out, and low key they talking about that, but they talking about something else. And I'm just trying to wonder what kind of technology we using to make it look like somebody is doing certain things. I'm just trying to figure out what the hell they using, because I see low key with the headlines what is going on. Like, it's almost like the storyline like is parallel with everything that's like going on. It's weird. It's weird. So again, that was just me speaking. There's no, you know what I'm saying? What are we talking about? Then what's the qualifications then? Then where's the handbook? See, you don't bring somebody into some kind of so-called competition, which is not one. I mean, maybe that's why I didn't see it as a competition, because it never was. Because it never was. But how is it a competition when you're gonna say somebody never got a invite or a seat at the table, never got the handbook, never got any kind of support, never got any kind of anything? Like, how the hell are you gonna say somebody playing some game when they not even know they're a part of it? They're being surveilled, and you're taking information from that person and chopping it up to make it look however you want it to look. And that's what you're doing at the end of the day. That's the reason why. And so that by the time that everything comes out, it's going to be too late for somebody to redeem themselves. I mean, and that's exactly what's going on at the end of the day. At the end of the day, that's exactly what is going on. There's no one more qualified, because there's not another one like me. There's just not. I don't have all the answers. I would need that union or that mate or whoever source would be pairing me up with, or whatever this is going on. But at the end of the day, that's just it. They're going to find out that they needed me too, in order to do things the way that source willed it be. How you going to try to cheat God? Like, that's something you just can't do. So me stepping out, even speaking like this in this video, is taking it to another level. Because again, there is no, when it comes to this, I feel like whatever it is, we're going to go ahead and make the mistake. What you guys are choosing to do, right, by allowing it to happen that way, is for the same thing to happen. Because people think, because they're not thinking on a different level. They're not looking at it a little bit deeper. They're not saying, well, could somebody be manipulating things? Why doesn't this person know? I mean, and maybe people don't give a damn, because maybe they feel some kind of way about something that I said. Maybe they feel some kind of way about something that I've said in the past, and they're going to let that be the, and they're going to judge me off of that, right? And again, to me, hurt feelings, it's always facts over feelings for me. It's always facts over feelings. I can give you the appearance that I'm here to help you too. But at the end of the day, if it's only an appearance and a facade, you better watch out once I get in my full motherfucking power. The good thing about me is you've already seen what I'm capable of when it comes to a portion of it. So again, no justice, no peace. And it's never over. And since people want to talk until this juicy lady sings, because I love myself, and I'm gonna come on here. I got a scarf on. I may not have one on one day. I may have a nice wig on one day. I might have some braids in. My hair might be nappy one day, and it may be I might want to wear makeup because I have a choice if I want to or not. So again, it's not no. The thing is, there's never been me looking at anything like a competition. I don't compete with nobody. I don't compete with nobody. I just bring what I offer to the table. Many people cannot handle it because I'm not going to bend or break or fold. And that's just the only thing. And that's just what it is at the end of the day. So We're going to go ahead and go into, like I said, the Epistle of Paul, chapter 1. And it says, Paul, a servant of Jesus or Yeshua or Christ, right? To be an apostle separated unto the gospel of God, which he had promised afore by his prophets in the Holy Scriptures, concerning the Son, Jesus, we'll just use that because y'all know I don't like to use the J, Christ, our Lord, okay? So this is saying that there must be another Lord or Lordess. People are thinking about this with the old age way of looking. We're not thinking modern times. So so it says concerning his Son, okay? But again, right here we say, let's just slow down real quick. Okay? This is Paul commended to the Romans his calling. He showeth that the gospel is for the justification of all men through faith. Okay? Now, it says, Paul, a servant of Christ, okay, called to be an apostle, okay, separated unto the gospel of God, okay, separated unto the gospel of God, which he had promised afore by his prophets. So Paul's prophets or Christ's prophets? I know many people say when it comes to Paul, it's tricky. Paul's prophets or Christ's prophets? Because when I'm reading this, if you're not being real careful, you could just go off thinking that this is just a runoff thing and you could just look at it the way you want. But again, the fact that we go on to say is concerning his Son. It's concerning his Son, Jesus Christ, our Lord. That's tricky. I mean, like, I don't even want, when I finish this, I am going to break that down a little bit more so I can kind of really read that, because we already see that there's something here that somebody wants you to kind of read that, like, I got that, but you really didn't. And that's what I like about taking my time when it comes to the scriptures. And it also goes on to say, because we're in chapter 1 and 3, it says concerning his Son, Jesus Christ, our Lord. And again, that's all one. Well, they don't have a space in between Christ, our. I don't know why. Which was made, a made man, okay, of the seed of David according to the flesh. Okay, so when we're talking about according to the flesh, hold on, let's see what flesh is talking about, because I think flesh also means a covering. Hold on. Okay, so I ain't dressed for the day yet, you know what I'm saying? So y'all just gonna have to take it how it is. I'm just trying to keep covered up a little bit. That's why I got this on. Okay. So it says here that the flesh means the meat. The meat means I don't want to use okay. And then it also says the muscular part of an animal's body. An animal can break down to also meaning people, right? As opposed to soul. Also, living creature, right? So in order for something to be living with the infrastructure and with these particular things, it would have to be attached to a corporation in a sense. If you don't want to, because we don't understand that the matrimony between, when we're talking about marriage and all these other, and these sexual relationships, they're also talking about binding things that bind you to certain organizations, corporations, and things like this. Because that's the only way they're going to take it in or take it serious, is to attach you to that which is their infrastructure. That has to do with their establishment. To keep them in power. Anything that's saying, I don't want it, I know where I'm from, I know who I am, this is it, we don't need that, make America great again, that is all. If you don't want to be connected to that which is otherly, it's not a go. It would take something of a miracle of the mindsets of the people in order to come all the way out. Which people say that they want something changed. They say they tired of this, and that, but they'll be okay with it as long as it goes under the rug and we can act like it's not still going on. As long as we feel like we're free for a little bit, it'll be okay. Until they're done demolishing the ones that hold the true power. And we remove all of them, and we're back at square one. Where, see, I've been looking at this whole thing when I'm in the text as to how can we make sure that these things don't happen again. You know, like even when I felt like I was called to something, and I felt like I'm going through this whole thing in the garden in the beginning. I'm like, dude, only thing I don't want to do, I don't even want to do. Whatever they did, I don't want to do it. I'm about to sit here and make sure that whatever they did, if we are doing a new thing, and if there's some, I don't want to do what they did. I don't want to eat the apple, to say. I don't want to go this way. I don't want to do, you know, let me stay on this, you know. I ain't about to be fooled, man. And I felt like I did that. But I felt like because things are not balanced and there is no justice, that it didn't matter. It didn't matter. Somebody put up a post the other day saying, yesterday saying something like, you can do something right 300 times, 300,000 times or something. I think I put it, I'm Shay_seeking on Instagram, and I put it on there. And they said, but they see you do wrong one time, and the other 3,000 times don't matter. But they can do something wrong 300,000 times. I believe it was 300,000 times. They can do something wrong 300,000 times and do good one time, and something to the point where it would they'll make sure everybody knows about that one time. I thought that was amazing. That was an amazing, like, right there. You know, because that's what it is. And again, when we're in this time when we were, you know, if we're talking about like Genesis being redone during this reset or this whatever. It's so many times looking like, with the energies I'm dealing with, I'm looking around like, what is going on? But again, that's when the blindfold was on, because it may have started off this way, but then something took over. And then now I'm seeing. Now I'm like, what? Okay, hold on. So again, the cat's out the bag. The cornerstone that been removed, or the that have been removed, or rejected, right? So there is no another. You unless you want to go down the road, unless you want to go down the wrong road, there is no other stone. Because that cornerstone that was rejected is supposed to come back anyway. So again, we can act like this is what it is, but it's just not. So Again, so to be like jealous or mad, no, it's about justice. It's the same justice you guys want when you see some of these false flags happen on TV that get you all up in the bundle, right? And I'm it's funny how I was watching, I'm thinking like, dang, George, I watched something about a news clip about 10 people being shot or something, and I get, you can't always, believe everything, you have to cross-examine and examine everything, right? But it's like 10 people in the, at one time. I'm thinking like, damn, they be doing that, in down south. Like, well, yeah, they do it down south. But I'm talking about like in Georgia, because we only be looking at these things one way. Like, oh, the police just kill us. No, you know what? Right now, in these times, because we're doing things the way we're doing them, you better believe it. You better not be just worried about no police killing nobody. You better believe that there's other stuff going on this plane right now when it comes to money, land, and resources. And just because somebody look like you don't mean they you. And just because somebody get in a position don't mean that they deserve or is their position at all. You understand what I'm saying? It just means somebody put them there. That's what it means at the end of the day. Because it will be easier for both parties to benefit from something. That pertains to something. And the fact that these people were shot all in, like, possibly, right? I think they said 4 of them in one place, and I don't know how far they are from me, but I'm someone that just think about things like this. That's all them people, if that was in a close vicinity, that means them people probably have ancestral ties to certain things in those places. Wrap your head right on around that. On this channel, I challenge myself and others to always ask questions. So I would be paying attention to what's going on in these particular areas. Crime rate, all these bodies, is not because of gangs and drugs all the time. There is other stuff going on. I thought we all knew about these things prior to this pandemic. Because if we still just talking about it as if the police is doing this, then nothing's happening, then we probably should go towards whatever it would be, and that would be to the root. And so again, why would someone that wants to continue on with a corrupt way in the world bring someone like me into the arena? And it's not because that person is not supposed to be there. No, they are supposed to be there because the righteous is supposed to inherit the earth, not the wicked. And I know it's deeper than that. And I know there's many layers to this. We can only go so far. Especially I can only go so far when I feel like I'm just here. Y'all better pay attention, because I feel like some people just stuck in seeing this thing one way when it comes to all these particular things. No, there is other stuff going on this plane. And I don't even know if we even searched the depths of what we're talking about when we're talking about this particular land, like, and people having access to certain, I guess it depends on what they do and whatever, but having access to, when it comes to things of law, having access to certain things when it comes to certain documents, in genealogy. And then sometimes people just end up missing. Sometimes people just get greedy. Sometimes it could have been okay. So even if I was coming at somebody, it would have to be something else attached to it. Because really, I just want what's right, and I want the right thing to be for the people and for my children in the future. That's why I've been put in this position. That's why I'm here. The more people you start getting involved when you're working with source, the more you are going to be able to get misled. That's why I stick to myself. Who can you trust? When I see some of the things that I see going on, whether we talk about in visions, downloads, whatever it is, who you really want, I'm telling you, I just can't really. So again, living creatures are creatures that will be connected to not America, but the United States Incorporated. And it also says here, a living creature also near kindred. Okay. A piece of meat torn off or to tear. Okay. So again, just in general, this is just what you could do the whole thing on your own. But right now, we just want to know what the flesh is. Because now, okay, let's just go ahead and try to read this through. Okay. So according to the flesh, okay, something's being done. I'm not pinpointing things and pushing them in any type of direction unless it goes there. I'm not trying to fit anything into no puzzle piece. Again, this is just an open book. This is just an open book how we're discussing this, and it's just for you to discern. I'm reading it right along with you. I didn't sit here and plan. This is a freestyle. We're just doing this off the top of our head, and that's just it. Okay? So it says here that, to the flesh and declared to be, so it's not just, it's bigger than me or them or her or he, it's bigger than that. It's just, and that's just all I'm saying. Okay. And it said, and declared. So just because somebody declared, just saying, to be the Son of God. Okay. So now we switched it up. That and declared to be the Son, and all this is in italics, and there's no spaces in between it. This is that old Bible from like the 1800s or whatever. So yeah. So and then declared. Well, just because we just want to be, and I ain't gonna take too long with this with these words, but I like for us to be thorough here. And if you here to really, see, then you'll see. Okay, to explain, to make clear, to proclaim, to announce, to explain, to make clear, to reveal. Oh, well, damn, that's exactly what we're doing today. See, sometimes the Spirit is leading me to do something. And I'm just saying, whether this is for me or somebody else, it doesn't matter to me. I just want the truth. I just know that something is happening that's not right. And again, the characters and things like that, it's just hard to like be really on like 100% on point unless it's something that I've experienced my own self. I can only share and know when I'm coming from a sense of knowing is because of things that have been happening on the spiritual plane, if I can explain it that way to you, which is something that is a vision or something that I've seen or some kind of something that I've gone through that I actually was aware of going through. Some of the things I think happens to us, even when we go to sleep and stuff, we're not aware of. I had another soul sibling speak out the other day and said that she woke up. And I hadn't talked to her. This is just somebody I know on that I watch on social media. So I woke up and I told you I was feeling some kind of way. And then, I had been listening to her. And then she said she woke up and was feeling some kind of way. Like she had an outer body experience or something. So again, these things are happening. And I think that it's going to be amongst the wildflowers or the people that are in the background that they want to turn into witches because we have a certain intuitive insight on things. And we are going to be the ones. See? We are going to be the ones. And so they want to silence these particular people. All right? The seers and those people, the Gnostics, I mean, that's exactly what I disclose, make things clear. Okay, affirm. Okay, so again, I mean, I don't think I need to come on here and yell and start yelling and screaming and foaming at the mouth. I don't think I need to get all the way 100% dressed up. I don't think that I can't not be on here with my scarf on my head to deliver this message because I'm going to be who I am. and declared to be the Son of God with power according to the Spirit of holiness by the resurrection from the dead, by whom we have received grace and apostleship for obedience to the faith among all nations for his name or hers. But if, again, I am getting a male energy here, right? Because again, when we talk about Jesus and Christ together, I feel like that is the divine masculine and feminine in a sense together. Representing the divine feminine, which is always there. Wisdom, she's always on earth. She just is using vessel after vessel throughout time to be here. And source also once in a while may make an appearance. And I think that it's when his son, or which is a descendant, could be a male or a female or both. Because that's the throne that he's going to use. That's the throne that he's going to use. So you don't get to pick a younger person or older person, whoever can come in, you don't get to pick. He picked. And again, the resurrection from the dead, I'm still thinking, are we talking status here? Are we talking about those who would be dead by law and those who would be living creatures or freedmen or frees peoples? Would be the living creatures. And then the dead would be those in the grave. But if we're clearing the air and there's no such thing as a Sheol or a underworld within the caste system anymore, and everybody's been brought up to a level place, then the things that we're doing when we're signing up for some of these things, not all of them, are placing you right back into a form of slavery under the guise of something else under a new ruler. And these are going to be your earthly masters. You see? Let the dry land appear. Okay, or let the earth join with the earth. One earth is original to this soil, and the other earth is foreign. Is what it is. Now, we are who we are now. I'm just saying. All right. So, yeah. And that's the fourth. So, okay, this is Paul or Romans 4. Why are we talking about declared, which is reminding me to be declared, Declaration of Independence? And also, why is it talking about the dead, resurrected from the dead? Because ain't that Independence Day? Isn't the 4th Independence Day? Isn't the 4th when somebody wanted to lay on all the slander about who they need to get out of the land now? Now let's get busy more to get certain people out of the land. They don't belong here. I'm telling you what they want to do. I'm telling you what they want to do. All right. So again, I was just thinking all that day, like, what is this all about? What is it really? So again, these people free from the British crown. So again, are we in Revelations when they said they looked and there was no more sea? Because the sea is talking about the maritime peoples. So all this time when this reviewing things and all this other stuff was going on before that whole union of the G7, remember they were talking about people having certain things directed this way or in this. So again, now they looked and there was no sea. And even I think when it comes to the surveilling that they're doing on individuals, that they've removed that foreign energy, possibly from the surveilling. And now we have the earthly masters or the corporation just handling it, which may change for the worse for us when nobody else is looking. It's almost like even when it comes to Jesus and things like that, or Yeshua, every time, like, people complain about certain things, but there had to be a reason why why it didn't work for his people, that he had to go to who he went to. There had to be a reason, and nobody look at these things because nobody want to look at anything. And people got ugly ways about themselves, and they just want to see things the way that they want to see them, and then they want to complain about people that's trying to, be as open and transparent as possible and bring you something by using the gifts that this is a lot of work for people. And it's just, just like even okay, so like I'm just noticing even here when we're talking about declare, that it's talking about a public announcement. Hold on one. Okay. So again, the reason why I bring up these particular things, because I see some of the antics that these people are using to try and make it seem as though certain people don't belong. So again, the whole thing have been unbalanced the whole time, and it is what it is because that's what they want to do. Okay. So even I was just about to scroll off and declare. Again, people are looking at it as if this is some cry for help or some cry for some kind of attention. No, it's justice. It's the same way you screaming in the streets about somebody being gunned down. If there have been somebody slew or cut off from something that belongs to them, a position even, because people use crafty counsel, sorcery, and they were mad about whatever that person did and use these things against them. And if they think that they can manipulate God's plan, that's something to stand up about. Anything else, ain't nothing else in this world even more important than that to me. Not your money, not your honeys, none of that. People make assumptions about what they think. No, just because a woman choose not to fall for your jokes and antics and things and go with somebody that you presented them because they've been lying and they've been tricking and they've been doing all these things and the person can't trust them now, don't mean that the woman is gay. It don't mean none of that. It means that I know who I am and I'm the one, and either a man is going to join with me or it ain't going to be. And I mean, that's just what it is. I'm the king. I mean, it's just, that's what it is. Probably because some of these people is acting like they can't be. And the ones that you think are the ones that society has also tried to ridicule to make it seem as though they're not. I'm talking about this in different levels at the same time for you to understand. There's a complex here. You're mad because I'm a woman that's gonna stand in truth, and truth just looks scary and it looks strong and it looks to be too much for the men of these days. Come on. And that's what I'm saying about man up. It's not even trying to be funny. It's really not even funny anymore. It's not. It's really not. So this is my declaration. This is what I'm declaring. It's a firm statement. I don't have to act crazy on here. It's a firm statement that I know who I am. And it's not me that's saying it the way I am. It's a purpose, and I feel like it's the will of Source. And I feel like people of this world have used their power and platforms in order to change that. By whom we have received grace and apostleship, for obedience to the faith among all nations, for his name, among whom are ye also the called of Yeshua Christ. Now that's the way it's written. Among whom are ye also the called of, it's saying the called of Yeshua Christ. To all that be in Rome, beloved of God, called to be saints, grace to you and peace from our Father. And see, now this is all weird. This is where you need to slow down. Okay, and for the sake of this video, I'm not going to do it, but 7, that's where you should slow down. Okay, beloved of God, called to be saints, grace to you and peace from our God, our Father. So beloved of God, but then peace from God, our Father too, and the Lord Yeshua Christ. First, I thank my God through Yeshua Christ for you all, that your faith is spoken of throughout the whole world. For God is my witness whom I serve. Wow. See, now listen, sometimes I say something on these videos, and since I talk the way I talk, I just talk the way I talk. I don't really notice until I start reading the scripture that, honey, that's exactly what you was just doing. This is exactly what you just said before you even knew what it said in the scriptures. And this is what I'm talking about something being a living word. It is living and flowing right along with us. And it's so sad to see that how it's just broken up. You know, like I said, I feel like sometimes that girl on The Fifth Element, that alien girl, that when she looked at the screen and saw all the violence and stuff, it's just like, oh, how are we going to? Like, what is going on? You know, it's just so sad. It's just so sad. So, okay. My spirit and gospel of his son. Okay. That without ceasing, I make mention of you always in my prayers, making request, if by any means now at length I might have a prosperous journey by the will of God, to come unto you. For I long to see you, that I may impart unto you some spiritual gifts, to the end ye may be established. Okay. But then again, you know, I was looking at something, just because this is an open chat, we're just using all the information, no matter if it goes against what I say or not. We're using all the information that I'm taking in. If I was shown something, I feel like it resonates with this, we're going to share it. So I was listening to a couple of things about a goddess called Nyx, and then some stuff about Chronos, and some stuff about other, you know, mythical, so-called mythical deities. And there was something about one of these, I posted it in the group. So if I say I posted in the group, then, you know, I may not remember the name of it and what it was, you know, I may not be able to remember the name of the video. But if I say I posted in the group, you're more likely to, or if I'm going to post it in the link down below, you're more than likely to see it in the group, because it's just easier for me to just shoot the video over there. And that's American Aborigines Unchained on Facebook. Okay. So I posted a video. It was talking about how one of these demigods or gods was to come in and offer this girl gifts. Okay. I think it was Nyx, and then there was another one. I mean, it was so many, because I think one had 9 kids, and it was just a whole bunch of stuff. Okay. So again, it was a short video, you know, and I like that person's channel. I like their breakdowns on mythology. It's usually pretty accurate with what I find. So, or what I already see. So, anyway, let's keep going. I was just saying that's what this is reminding me of, in a sense. Okay. To the end ye may be established. Okay. That is, that I may be comforted together with you by the mutual faith, both of you and me. Now I would not have you ignorant, brethren, that oftentimes I purposed or proposed to come onto you, but was let hitherto, that I might have some fruit among you also, even as among the other Gentiles. I am a debtor both of the Greeks and the barbarians, both to the wise and the unwise. So as much as in me is, I am ready to preach the gospel to you that are at Rome also. For I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ, for it is the power of God unto salvation to everyone that believeth, to the Jews first, and also to the Greeks. Okay? For therein is the righteousness of God revealed from faith to faith, as it is written, the just shall live by faith. For the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men, who hold the truth in unrighteousness, because that which may be known of God is manifest in them, for God has showed it unto them. So again, because that which may be known of God is manifest in them, not around them, not over here, not over there. It's something in them. For God hath showed it unto them. Showed it unto them. And this is why you're being surveilled. Some of you. It's getting hot now. This is why you feel like something is going on. People are trying to tap into your energy or know what you're thinking or get in your head. This is why it's okay for 90-something% of the people to still be in a certain so-called, supposedly in a so-called status, while others are in delight, having fun, while these are starving. But because they have their own build, because they have their own group, that's what the concern is. It was never about a real movement of widespread awakening. And when you talked about doing it that way, nobody wanted to join. For the invisible things of him from creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal. Oh, I wanted to use that word earlier when I was saying that what was within us. Even in his eternal power and Godhead. So they cut off the head. But the head, even like it's reminding me of Medusa. But the head was still powerful on its own. Well, damn. Come on now. Come on now. Was it Hermes with them sneaky shoes? Seriously, was it? With them sneaky sandals? Was it? Who was also swift. So yeah. So again, maybe they didn't literally, and this is why I've been trying to explain to y'all the whole time. So everything is making so much more sense to me now. Okay? So I don't think nobody sat there and just really severed her head off. I think that they cut her off from, they maybe had her up on a pedestal or a platform. But again, when it comes to Venus and all these other women that had their eyes covered. So she didn't know. I didn't know that I was under examination. I didn't know any of this stuff. I just knew that I was communing with energies, that I started to feel and I'd be able to sense that beings were around. And it was a process that I went through and I'm like, okay, so I'm coming in. I've always had a sense of knowing, but I'm coming into my gifts. Why now? What happened? Then I started to notice these things about like the 40-year-old thing and a certain ages with we went through certain natural things, something like a phenomenon, when it went through some of these rites of passage and things like this, when it comes to knowledge and when it comes to things like that. So I had to kind of like incorporate a couple of these things into that. So maybe, So yeah, can you imagine that maybe they didn't cut it off like that literally? Maybe they just cut her off from the world. Because I don't know how I went from putting a video out and getting 300 something views in a day on a video. Now, I never really was getting that many subscriptions, but the videos were getting hundreds of views a day when I put a video out in one day. To 2 or 6, something ain't right. That's how you cut off a head in modern time right now. And also after you already did what you did to even get her to that point, smear campaign, all that. Yeah, the head is still strong, but they just want to keep it in their pocket and pull it out when they want to. It's almost like on that show, Discovery of Witches, when they kept that head chopped off in a box. And the one sorcerer or whatever dude would go in there and try, and she would say like little riddles or say little things to jog his memory to help him out. And she was one of the most powerful witches like never before. And they're calling them witches. I'm calling them seers or prophetess, things like this. Because that's what it really is. Okay? That's what it is. And so when you do that and you make it ugly. So what did they do to her, to Medusa? Oh, she got, she do like this to this, and she got these snakes in her head. You think about that too, though. So those little things that were coming out of her head were appalling to people. Could be her secrets, things that were her private memories and thoughts, because they were doing that to that girl Diana in the in the show Discovery of Witches as well. They were trying to get in and go into her deepest thoughts. They wanted to know everything about her. They knew who she was. Now, I'm not saying that she was, I'm just saying that's that same energy that I'm getting, right? So it says, for the invisible things of him or her from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they, and I think, and that's what we're talking about. When we're talking about Yeshua Christ, there's the power. So there's like the physical power. The physical power is going to be the male, divine male. And then the power that flows through her would be the road, I feel, to heaven. Because God is going to take his seat on the throne. And that's why this is the corona or coronation, because this is when he's going to join her. So if you take off the head there, then you're taking off the head of God. And so if you want to kill her, you want to kill God. That's it. So they are without excuse. But that when they knew God, they glorified him not as God or her. It says him in italics. So we're going to say him or her. Neither were thankful, but became vain in their imagination. So it's going to make it seem like this, but the Godhead is the joining. He is going to be he's going to be viewing from heaven. The God of this world is going to be in the governing forces in the high places. We battle not against flesh and blood. This one is in you. This is in you. So even if we're talking about the flesh and talking about the meat, and we are talking about the joining of someone in some kind of way where they're going to end up exchanging or having a child or something like that. It's making me think of that fleshly part. Like that's a way for somebody to become, I don't know, that's just what I'm thinking. It just came to mind. Joined to something. But then again, that would make that child more so, I don't know, I would think it would be like the half or a bastard, possibly. I don't know. And so maybe that whole thing about, one of those mythical stories about how they wanted to defile her so that she would not be able to step into her full power. And so somebody came and tripped up on her. Which could be, again, if we just looking at it the way that it's being said, but it could have been a life altering thing. It could have been something where was like, okay, well, this didn't happen, so I'm gonna do this to save this person. So like I said, and I don't want you to think that this channel is all about everything negative. Those are the things that people don't want to think about, so I talk about them more. They want to think that it's a lovey-dovey story, some kind of, it's a fantasy, but to tell you I've been through some things, that ain't what it is at all. It's not like no fantasy like that, like the whole time, right? When it's new and you're having these things, you're like, wow, dang, we ain't know nothing. That feels like, it's like a euphoric kind of feeling. But then after you see like, oh, wait, these are the dark parts. Hold on. Oh, this is what they doing. Wow, what the hell? And so you always like have to be like this. You really can't even, to sit in a position like this, you really can't even be serious about really doing nothing, really no real work. You really can't. And again, so I think I'm okay with having a more artistic mind, someone that can kind of just like move from one thing to another. Because if I had to be like sitting at a desk all day, sitting here and thinking about this stuff, and it wouldn't work for me. I'd go crazy. So anyway, okay, their imagination darkened and their foolish heart was darkened. Okay. All right. Professing themselves to be wise, they become fools. Okay. And change the glory of the uncorruptible God into an image. Okay, wait a minute. They changed the glory of the uncorruptible God into an image made like a corruptible man, and to birds and four-footed beasts and creeping things. Wherefore God also gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves, who changed the truth of God into a lie, and worshiped and served the creatures. Okay? So they turned the truth of God into a lie and worshiped and served the creature more than the creator. So they created something and served that. That is an idol. Okay? More than the creator, the one who manifested this herself and birthed this nation through manifestation in the first place, with the help of source, angels, ancestors, and guides. And so people want to call you weird when you sit and you have no choice but to withdraw and go within and actually deal with these energies that have been sent, because you have to quiet down to even go there. You have to go through something. You got to do work on yourself and go through. So it irritates me for people to try to act like those of us who are seers and knowers and things like this, that we, or those of us that already know that we've been here before to a certain extent, right? Or we're on a mission, that it's something wrong with us when we actually did the work. We are the ones that we have been waiting for. So no, you can't just come and put someone else or something else. You can't just put the creature there. Who is blessed forever. And then try to make it like the creator is just something that can be done with. It says, amen. For this cause God gave them up unto vile affections. For even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. Let's read it again. For even their women did change. The woman could be talking about a female, a girl, a lady. But it could also be talking about those nations and groups that are now forming on the land. Because they choose to deal with man and his law and do it that way. Because this is the way they tell you. Anyway, the whole shit is done. Like, what we should, why are we even? This is why in the other chapter the other day it said, why do you keep going to law and not God? God is nature. The goddess is nature. Again, we're back in the Ashura, Ashtoreth energy, which in Isaiah and a couple of these other books wanted to make it seem as she was awful and tear down all her temples and things like that. Again, that means tearing down things in your mind to change, to make an alteration. Right? Even it also has to do with like geographical locations. Okay. So again, even the women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. And likewise, also the men leaving the natural use of the woman. Do you understand what I'm saying? So this is confirmation for me to go on into whatever I was talking about. Y'all about to give me, look. And likewise, also the men leaving the natural use of the woman, burned in their lust one toward another, men with men, working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves the recompense of the error which was met. I'm thinking dis-ease. Wow. And even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge, God gave them over to a reprobate mind to do those things which are not convenient, being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whisperers, backbiters, haters of God or the goddess, despiteful, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient to the parents. The disobedience amongst the parents is also talking about the creators versus the creatures. So this is talking about the real mother and father versus the babes. I told you the newer nations of people are going to be the ones with privileges regardless, that's the way the world is going to set it up. It's never going to set it up any other way. And they will use those very people to eliminate the rest of what's left of the origines that's up in this land. And I don't even know if I got to be the one to tell you. I don't know who all these people are because I don't know who they all are. They have these platforms or whatever they have set up where they're exploiting and sharing my business and talking and viewing what's going on in my area. It's exactly what it's for. Without understanding, covenant breakers. Without understanding, covenant breakers. Without natural affection, they don't care. This is why you see in this time when we're talking about divine masculine and feminine, they're saying, oh, these men, people is doing this, they doing that and everything. And I had to question, man, why are these, seers now saying this kind of stuff? It was all like cool at first, but, a little bit of drama. But now I'm saying, like, hold on, because I sensed it. And again, if people would not be afraid to go to God instead of the creature, they would know better. But again, I think some of these things, I don't see them that way all the way either, right? But again, if we were communicating back and forth as to what would be, you see, then maybe, So again, without natural affection, it's all a game. It's all a game for these people. And just now I feel like it's a game at this point so that these people can rob and do all these things. They're trying to get close to you so that they can get something. So just like I keep telling people, make sure you be checking on your bank account. Stuff like that. Okay, who knowing the judgment of God, that they which commit such things are worthy of death, not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them. And this is where I said I had to cross the line, because I feel like the type of energy that I was dealing with, it coming on me all of a sudden, I know that there's connections between us. As above, so below. In this realm, in elevated statuses, there are connections between us. So at this point, it's just like, now people want to make it seem like, oh, this person just being difficult. No. Some of us just see. And once you see, that's it. I'm not dealing with, I'm cutting it off. I don't even want nobody, because I see that this can go further. You may be inviting something just by thinking of something into yourself and your life that you're not even aware of. So it takes to learn this. It takes some time to be doing it by yourself. Just, trying to get together with, how do I serve the ancestors? How do I continue to, commune with source so that I can make sure that I'm staying on the right track? Because when you're dealing with all this stuff, it can just be a lot. It can be a whirlwind. But I'm saying that, no. And I have a feeling that people are saying certain things that just, they're not true. And that's the shameful part. And I feel like it's not true to the point where, but these people, there's nothing you're going to be able to say, because I feel like somebody's using technology and certain things, holographic images. I feel like they're, if you want to call it a clones or whatever, it just is the way it is. I think that they're using something like this in order to create these narratives. They don't have time. Nobody's doing nothing in Hollywood, really, are they? So now you the show. I'm just saying. So anyway, that was it. I'm going to go ahead and stop there. This one is random because I still have to finish uploading all the videos that went with the video that I put up yesterday. But I'm just trying to stay positive. I'm trying to stay in this word. I have been feeling a lot better the last couple of days since I've been in the word, even though I know the worldly realm want me to shut the hell up. Source is just like, get at it. I'm going to fix everything the way it needs to be. Just keep doing what you're doing. So that's all I can do. So now I'm just sitting here like, yeah, maybe this is what, I'm really, okay, yeah. I feel like there's been something that has been blocking me when it comes to some kind of energy being sent my way. And now it's like, okay, if they want to be like that, then stay right where you at and do what I want you to do. Are you comfortable there? You free to do what you want there? You stay right where you at. That's the energy I'm getting. So, I mean, could you imagine being around this time and this, Matter of fact, here, let me show y'all something in this Bible before we leave. Wait, I don't want to accidentally show you nothing. Okay, this is not really the best way to do it, but I think I like this Bible because you see this image here? It's incorporating all that stuff that we call like mythology or ancient aliens. It's incorporating it right up in there. Hopefully y'all can see that. All right. Hopefully that was it. I didn't flash y'all or nothing like that. So anyways, so yeah, gratitude and grand rising. I want to thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe if you like. And join us in the Facebook group American Aborigines Unchained for more information past, alternative information past, present, and future. And I'll see you guys soon. Take care.